I'm the host, Calvin the Catalyst, here with PBS Hawaii, ALANUI MELE, Hawaii Hip Hop History. And in front of me, we have Lionel Wright, a.k.a. Lionel L., considered the godfather MC of Hawaii hip hop from Papakolea. How you doing, Lionel?
Hey, how's it?
I read John Berger labeled you that, right?
Yes, yeah, John Berger. Because prior to me, people weren't like recording it and putting it out for sale necessarily. And really, like in 1990,
Right.
I came out with my album, and the CDs were brand new. So really, the whole thing is I'm the first local rap artist on CD.
That's huge.
Yes.
In 1990, coming out of the 80s too, right?
Yeah.
Where it's vinyl, cassette,
Yes.
and to have CD. So before you, in 19, was there anybody that came, any MC or rapper came out on like, I mean, there are people rapping, of course,
Yeah.
in the 80s. I'm sure of it. But was there anybody on wax or quote unquote on CD at that time?
Okay, so the only one that I know is that was before me, actually, and I like to say that she would have to be the first local rap artist in Hawaii, is Loyal Gardner. She came out with the song Shave Ice,
Okay.
and in the middle of that song, she rapped, the flavors.
Right.
Strawberry, coconut, lemon, lime, banana.
Yeah.
And which is crazy because that was considered rap.
Rap.
Yeah, right? So she actually, to my knowledge, like she's the first local rap
Did
artist.
she write it? Do you know if she wrote it?
I don't know. I don't think it was that hard to.
Do you
No,
remember?
no, no, no.
Yeah,
I think it
true.
would have been that hard to figure that out. No,
Yeah.
but good question, bro. I'm not sure. But this is where, like, if I can mention about,
totally.
my whole thing with Laura Gardner was pretty interesting, because like for rap, from what I know, she didn't like rap. And
Oh.
the way that I know this is that I was in the Brown Bags to start
Okay.
1 year. I think it was like '88 when we did rap. And we rapped and danced, and JJ Fad was the special guest
Wow.
that
They
year.
performed Supersonic.
They performed Supersonic, and then backstage we got to meet Dr. Dre and Eazy-E.
Ooh, was
So-
Michelle A there at all?
No,
Okay.
she wasn't there.
Was
And-
JJ Fad was they signed under Dre? Or
Yeah,
Dre was just
well,
there?
that's the thing is that they produced them back then.
Okay.
And then DJ Train, I think, was their DJ,
Right.
right? Yeah, at the time. So they were there. So, rap was just kind of getting, into its
88, right?
Yeah, 88. And then so, boom, we do this thing. We perform at the end. We didn't even place. We didn't get first, second, or third, nothing.
Was this your crew, Clubs Rock?
Club Rox Rock,
Rock,
yeah.
okay.
So we've always kind of been Club Rox Rock from almost the beginning.
You guys didn't even place.
We never even placed.
So what 88? Who won that year?
And oh shoot, I forget.
not Capenna,
a
right?
good question. No, not Capenna. Capenna is just slightly before us.
Oh, so I think
believe
Capella won
so.
the first brown bag.
Yeah. So
88. Who won the 88 brown bags?
I forget. But yeah, so it was interesting. But so after all of that happened, like we didn't even place, and so back then, like the year before in '87, like like we did brown bags. Anyway, so like she came up to me and she was huffy. She was mad. And I was like, hey, what's up?
Wait, did you know her
Anthony.
previously?
No, I just I knew her music, like all of us, we were raised with all of her singing, and her commercials. So, I was like, okay, yeah, hey, I was happy to see her. And she was mad. And she was like, hey, and she told me, I just got to tell you, that kind of music will never make it in Hawaii.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, wow, like what? Like, oh, sorry, auntie. Like,
So
wow.
you there wasn't your auntie, no blood relation,
no
nothing.
blood relation,
Just
just
came up
Hawaiian.
to you at 87 brown bags.
88 brown bags.
88 brown bags.
And pretty much told me off and said that, that kind of music would never make it in Hawaii. And I was like, I was upset. I was sad, because I'm a kid at a kid's contest.
So you were like
adults
16?
Don't say that.
16?
I was 17.
17.
Yeah, so crazy. And then so next thing you know, like she does the song, which didn't sound like anything back then.
Right.
But really, when you look at it now, she stole my thunder.
stole
She's the rap person now.
And you know what?
I'm like,
She should have
damn.
asked you to be on it. You should have did that. strawberry, coconut, lemon, and banana.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't even know how they figured it out. I mean, maybe we helped her to bring attention,
Yeah.
To how important it was and that the kids were into it,
You know, it's crazy. I was in elementary, and I remember that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was no influence on myself wanting to be an MC, but I remember it. I remember that. I don't know the whole rap, but strawberry, coconut, lemon, and banana ice cream. What a dream. Something
like that. We can
yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Panorama,
And then-
mix it up, rainbow.
Yeah.
What a crazy. Yeah.
Then she goes into the hook.
Yeah.
It was a dope song, though.
Oh, it was totally. Well, that, and then, she got credibility when she hooked
Right.
up with like the Mechanical Masters.
Yeah,
right?
okay. They were in that video, right? Mechanical Masters.
Yeah. Well, because they had to be, right? Because she
Right.
was doing rap, so
Yeah.
she was trying to,
I
sell to
wonder
the
who
kids
produced. I've never tried to look into who produced that track.
Yeah.
by Lil Gardner, because that was definitely a left turn for her.
Oh no, for her,
musically.
yeah, it was commercial. Yeah, it
Super
was the first time
commercial.
she was doing something commercial. Totally. For me, yeah, I didn't expect that at
So,
all.
so after Lil Gardner told you, basically, hey, rap sucks.
Never happened.
Never happened. And,
And
then you
boom, she was
eventually
doing
hear her rapping.
Yeah.
And now she took the title of
Yeah.
first rapper on
Well,
wax.
I didn't realize that at first, but later on,
Yeah.
then I was like, hey, that freaking lady. Wow, bro.
Did you ever bump into her after that?
No, after that, I was like, hopefully she doesn't remember what I look like.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
Or who I am, so, because, hey, I was young, still yet mentality-wise,
Right,
born
right.
and raised Papakolea.
Right.
You do not yell or talk bad or talk down to
The elders.
kupuna.
Yeah, Kapuna, yeah.
Whether you know them or not. Sorry, auntie.
Right.
Sorry, auntie. Right?
So growing up in Papakolea, what was your experience with like popping, locking, breakdancing, rapping? Because Papakolea is one of the first homesteads on Oahu.
Yes.
Or second, right? Homestead.
Okay, we can get the verification on this. So actually, we are the second one on Oahu.
Right.
Nanakuli was the first.
Okay.
Told to me by my kupunas
Right.
was that Nanakuli jumped in front of us.
How that happened, I like to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't born back then.
Right,
but,
right.
so we're actually the second homestead.
But the only one in town.
The only one in town, yes.
I always thought, this is my running joke that I always say is like, Papakolea was a mistake.
Yeah.
When they was plotting the land out,
Yeah.
they must have been falling asleep and the hand went
Yeah,
this
oh,
way.
well,
And then
okay.
like they gave all these Hawaiians beautiful land on top of the mountainside. And I would say, brah, those guys are probably killing themselves right now, thinking, we should have sold it.
Okay, so this is where I can give you the 411 on this.
Oh, here we
one.
go.
My last name is Wright.
Okay.
I'm from the Wright Ohana.
Okay.
My great-grandfather, he was institutional back in the old days from what I hear with my family. He was part of the community board back in 1936. They built the bridge that came over to Papakolea that we utilize now. In 1934, I believe that's when they instituted the first community association. And so my great-grandfather, the story is him and Prince Kuhio went to Washington, D.C. to petition that Papakolea be a part of the Hawaiian Homestead Act.
Wow.
Yeah, so we had to ask to be a part of it. We weren't supposed to be part of the lot, but what happened is that in the earlier days, like, the ahupua'a is Kevalo.
Okay.
So back in the days, Papakolea, we lived in Lower Kevalo, which is, like Kaka'ako.
Right,
now.
right.
And so later on, that's when we started moving up towards the hills. So that's where we found Papakolea, and we were initially squatters back then.
Oh, crazy.
So we kind of had...
Which is ironic. How can we be squatters in a land that we own already?
Yeah, well,
Right.
and then...
Technically, yeah.
And then with the Wright Ohana part of it, like my great-grandfather actually came from the Big Island.
Okay.
He was a farmer. So initially when he came to Papakolea or to Honolulu, he actually leased half of Papakolea. That was his farmland.
Wow.
So it's like my personal kuleana is really like tied to this. And
So you is Papakolea.
I was the last known president of the community association, Papakolea Community Association. Yeah, so I was trying to live my, walk the
Yeah.
the path that the kupunas had led for us, but I was not able to follow through. So
Right.
yeah,
All good, bro. But basically, your was it great
my great grandfather John Whitney Ka'ulula'au Wright
he had to petition for Papakolea to be homestead.
to be a part of the Hawaiian Homestead
A
Act.
part of the Hawaiian homestead.
and to be included. Prior to that, we weren't included.
So that but if they never have Papakolea, there'd be no Hawaiian homestead in town, period. Right?
No, there would be none. And so because of us, now we have Papakolea, which everybody knows.
Right.
Below us is Kevalo.
Right.
And then they have the new homestead, Kalavahine.
Right.
That was the last one that they had built. So basically, there are 3 homesteads in this one area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kevalo is a homestead?
Kevalo is a homestead, its own.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You just think Papakolea and then the newer one,
Yeah.
right?
But, really, like, because of the, Ahupua'a,
Right.
we all fall under Kevalo.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
You never thought hip hop would take it this far with Hawaiian history. Here we go.
Bro, I tell you, it's so crazy, that being from the homestead
Yeah.
and then getting into hip hop because, like, really, everything was pushing me to be on kumuhula.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
Or be on, like a Hawaiian music performer.
Musician,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And that's where I kind of was like, hey, I kind of like this new thing, man. I like dancing. And
Was there anybody in Papakolea, like cousins, older siblings,
So yes,
that was emceeing or DJing or popping, locking?
Initially, yes, there were people who was dancing,
Right.
And so this is where like names like the Hewlin family, the Monte family, what you call it, there's a bunch of them up there, and those guys, those were the first families or people that I saw dancing, popping,
Right.
and actually competing. From us, had like Michael DuPio was used to be in Papakolea.
Okay.
All kinds of guys had come through, and those were the early days of popping. That's the popping convention. I remember seeing like the Monte
So this is like
family.
80. What popping convention was 80? What year was popping convention?
Oh, right, like 84,
84, 85,
yeah, like something like that.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So it was really early on, and I seen them actually. They performed or they competed, at the Shell when they had the popping convention.
Right.
I mean, to me, bro, that right there, one told me, hey, it's cool to do that because they were in the hood doing it.
Yeah.
And then 2 is that when they were performing on stage, that told me, yeah, hey, it's okay to do this. Like they're the ones. I mean, Troy Hilllen, another good brother, Papakolea. This guy, he was the cusp of popping and breaking back, when I was growing up. So I saw, these guys actually doing it before me. I used to go to Silly's nightclub back in the early days. And, back then I was 14, so I was like the youngin, the youngster going in there. And, it was great because back then they had this guy, Adam, they called him MC Glass.
MC Glass, okay.
And that guy, he was the best MC I ever seen in Hawaii. I mean, even to today, like
Where was
I
MC
hear
Glass
all of
from?
these
I
new
remember
guys.
you telling me about him.
Yeah, so he was
when we
from
talked
like
earlier.
Kalihi area back in the day. Like when I went to Koananakoa Intermediate one year, he was actually there. So like he was.
You guys
from
are
that
roughly the same
Nu'uanu
age
area.
then?
He's older, yeah. He was older than me, yeah.
Like 1-2 years older.
Couple years, yeah. But I mean, bro, that guy, he could rap. I literally, like every week, people would come in, military guys from all over the world thought they could rap, and they would come in to try to battle him.
What club was this at?
Silly's.
Silly's.
At Silly's. And he would literally rap them out the door and still be rapping.
So this was just a Hawaiian guy, local brother?
Hawaiian guy.
Hawaiian, like Hawaiian. Wow.
Hawaiian.
And from Kalihi.
Kalihi, yeah. And he was off the top of the head, bro. But he had all the cut downs and everything.
So he was like snapping on guys then.
Oh,
straight.
bro, he was
freestyling or was it written?
He was freestyling.
He was freestyling.
He was freestyling.
And this was
back
what?
then.
What year was this? 88?
80, I would say like about 84 around there. Like, that's
so at the
when I
same time,
remember.
popping was blowing up.
Yeah, all of that
And
kind
he
of
was rapping.
happening. Yeah, he was, or maybe like around there, yeah.
And he was one of the more dominant.
He was the dominant back then. But there was really nobody that was really putting it out there. Other than that, they had one group called TMT.
Okay.
So TMT was from Kalihi Valley, and then that's where like DJ Don, He's a police officer
Okay.
now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Don.
think he's ready to retire soon. Sorry, bro, I couldn't hold it. But yeah, I mean, like he's old school, bro. But
Right.
those guys, they were rapping before me, and Pacho was with them. And I remember going to a church in Kalihi and watching them rap and dance. They had a beatboxer guy named Rerun, so they were beatboxing back then. Because back then, like, yeah, so like I saw before me,
Right.
I saw glimpses of other people doing it. Yeah, and that's that's what made it feel like, okay, besides seeing it on television, hearing it, on the radio and whatnot, it was okay. It was, yeah.
So besides MC Glass, so what's MC Glass's real name?
Adam.
You don't remember the last name?
No.
Do you keep in touch with him at all, or
No.
no? Wow.
Yeah, no. But
he left a lasting impact to the point where you're talking about him in 2024, and I've never heard his name prior to you telling me about MC Glass.
Yeah, well, hey, part of that whole thing is that I don't think it was during like the teen time too. Okay. That's why back then I had a cousin, my cousin Daniel, and he was actually one of the doormen at Silly's.
Oh, that always helps.
So yeah, I used to go in there after hours as an adult, and so I got to witness that.
So you were 14 years old going to Silly's,
yeah,
watching MC Glass tear up people on the mic.
MC Glass, yeah, oh yeah, and actually, yeah. So it was a good time, bro. It was still, because back then the drinking age was 18,
right?
And just before I became 18, they switched it to 21, and I was just like, oh, bro, we're done.
Yeah. Oh, so was MC Glass one of your influences to start rapping, or you were already kind of penning?
He was one of the first guys that I saw locally that was just commanding it.
Did you ever link up with him to do tracks, or?
You know how it is, bro. When you see Jesus, bro, you just kind of keep him right there where he's at. Like, oh, bro, like, hey. So like I always held him in high regard. So we knew each other, right. As we got older, eventually, But
he's not on record anywhere, not recorded.
No, bro. He, I think for him, it was just something he did on the side.
You know what? I think Buzz One actually said MC Glass's name in a rap.
Yeah.
I think Buzz, because Buzz,
yeah.
I think he did say MC Glass's name, if I do recall. But so besides MC Glass locally, who was your influences early on that you seen or heard from the States?
Okay, so I like intelligent rap.
Right.
I when I was young, I like when people said words that I had to go find a dictionary to go look up. I don't know why. And so one of the first guys that kind of hit me that way, believe it or not, was LL Cool J. And I liked the way that he rapped. I like how he said his words and stuff, and he was very tricky the way he would, like write his words. And I was like, I like this. And I really fell in love with this guy named Tila Rock.
Oh, Tila Rock.
So Tila Rock, he is my guy. Back to Burn, that was the jam.
Nice.
Nitro, oh my God.
And how do you remember or recall, how did you first hear Tila Rock?
Before the whole Club Rox Rock thing.
What year was this when you first heard Tila Rock?
Oh, I should say, around 84, bro. Like it was early on.
So 84 was cracking then,
bro. Yeah,
84 was on for hip hop. Whatever hip hop for just.
Well, there was a lot of influence around. It just depends on how you were picking it up or what you were looking for. For us in school, so during this time, it was a weird time because and I figured this out too, is that a lot of us was raised by single parents.
Right.
So we always looking for somebody else to go hang out with,
or latchkey, right?
Like,
parents will come home to 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so like we ended up just kind of gravitating to each other, but it's weird because it's nothing that was planned, it just kind of slowly started to take shape, next thing you know, like, because Breaking Hawaiʻi, that happened. We all watched that and everybody said, okay, hey, we're all into this thing, so where do we hang out? Back then, like the teen dances were big.
Right.
High school dances were huge. I mean, we would go to dances all over. I went to Wailua High School dance one time. Like the furthest. You never
catch bus, did you?
I think we did, bro. I don't know. But back then, bro, it was only 10 cents, bro. But I mean, like we did some pretty, things that would be considered risky today.
Oh, yeah.
But back then, it was such a different world. We wasn't worried about people raping and murdering or shooting.
Right. Kidnapping,
Yeah, like, bro, Hawaii we grew up in a good time, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's not like how it is now. I literally would leave and go all night, and if I slept over and didn't call my mom, she wouldn't call the cops the next morning. I end up on the milk carton, you know, like like, you know, like like people were lax. Papakolea, you could leave your house with your door unlocked.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, like that's what Papakolea, like we always would talk about, like that's how safe our neighborhood was.
Right.
Our neighbors and everybody knew not to touch what's not yours, you know. And not only that, protect your neighbors, you know. So we grew up with that, you know.
So then back to Tila Rock.
Oh, sorry.
No, all good, bro.
Yeah.
I love learning more, you know, because here at PBS Hawaii, we do
tangenting over here.
No, it's all good because we do a lot of stuff with, you know, cultural stuff.
Yeah.
As well as neighborhoods. If you watch any of the stuff we do from classics to presents, they have like neighborhoods, Kalihi and all these other neighborhoods. So, but we don't got a Papakolea one.
Yeah.
So, hey, maybe we got to do one.
Oh, yes. Well, definitely we need to talk about
But
that.
Tila Rock, though. So how did you first hear Tila Rock back in 84, 85?
So when we first started dancing and stuff, when I first had like Dwayne Oyama, he was my DJ.
Okay.
He lived in Po'oa Valley. That's dynamic DJ. And he was the one that really, he was in like the record pool.
Right.
And so like we would, you know, pretty much get all the latest and newest stuff that was coming up. And so through him, like he would play me stuff. So I liked Tila Rock was really good. Just Ice.
Nice.
Just Ice was really
Wow,
good.
yeah.
Back then, like not, you know, like they weren't like just like doing like stiff raps, you know. They were like all over. They were up the beat, down the beat,
and
in front
especially
of the beat,
Just
behind.
Ice. The way he talked about the streets, you know?
Yes.
His way he...
Well, he was the gangster of rap.
Yeah.
All of these other guys is all after the fact.
Right. So how'd you hook up with Dwayne then? This is before Club Rocks.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this is what created Club Rocks.
Right.
Basically,
so you were just a solo, you just rapping?
Well, no,
on your
I was
own?
I was just dancing.
You
This
dancing?
is I was just
Oh, so
dancing.
you was popping and locking too then at one point?
Breaking. Yeah, well,
Moving.
So this is where like the whole like freestyle thing,
Okay.
you know, took over, like, or is in this era, because
What
like
era is freestyle? Would you consider?
Okay, so put it this way: when everybody was popping and locking at Silly's, when they weren't performing,
Right.
how would you dance with your female?
Yeah. You can't.
You can't be like, oh yeah, oh, let me spin, you know, that kind of like, yeah, you know, that kind of hold my hand, I go spin, you know, that kind. You couldn't do that, so that's where freestyle came in.
Right.
Is when they were done performing, then you know you would dance with your chick, and that's really what freestyle was. Is that you know, common dance.
Right. Yeah.
And so initially it started off as just that. You know, after the guys would pop and lock, then we come on the floor with our moves and swing the girls, and you know, hey, what's up, sister? Oh, you can't boss over here. You know, like,
where you from?
Yeah, you know. So that's pretty much what freestyle
Plus the music
was.
at the time, there was like rap, hip hop going on, but there's also freestyle music going on, which is like more Miami based
dance,
stuff.
Dance music, dance music. And so that's what it was, is that in Papakolea, you know, I was doing this kind of dancing, not necessarily what everybody else was doing. And I heard that this guy Dwayne down in Po'oa was supposed to be a good dancer. So initially I went down there to go battle him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So wait, let's keep it clear. Freestyle battle him. Yeah, dance battle.
Yeah. I knew he was on breaker, so I was like, yeah, okay, I know he can up rock it. Yeah. But I like battle this guy.
So Roger Rabbit versus the Running Man kind.
Well, that never even exists yet.
But that didn't come in yet. See, I'm young. I'm 90s, so to me, I think freestyle is that kind of stuff.
Oh, but no, it is.
Right.
But back then, never exists yet.
Right.
I mean, yeah. So we can get into that in a little bit. But
so you went down there to battle Dwayne.
Yeah. So I went down there to battle Dwayne initially. And so when I went down, I saw him, we talked, and then we just became friends because we're doing the same thing.
Right.
He had this guy, Chris Treya, that hung out with him, and this guy, Wilmer Rabibis. So next thing you know, that was kind of like our dance crew kind of a little bit, you know, initially. And so, you know, as we started to go to Roosevelt now, we started meeting other guys. So
Right,
there was this guy in Makiki, and he was a good dancer. Shannon Cordero, so he started dancing with Club Rox Rock. Back then,
So Club Rock was only a dance crew at first.
yeah, we're dancing first.
Oh, okay.
This guy in Manoa said that I heard that he was on Good Dancer. So I was like, oh, yeah, let's go check this guy out. So Louis Saya, he became a part of Club Rox Rock. And so,
Oh, how big is the crew? Like the Wu-Tang of 1985.
Pretty much, bro. We was kind of like a adoption agency. You know, hey, if you drive with us and you like what we do, and we like what,
So how big did Club Rocks get at one point?
I don't know, bro. We had plenty of people.
Because you named at least 7 guys right now.
Well, as we kept going, people kept coming and going, you know. So when we did the initial freestyle dancing in the beginning, I had one bunch of guys, you know, as we started moving along, then some women came out, girls came into the scene. And
who was some of the first female dancers you guys had?
So exactly, the first ones that we brought on was kind of more or less the first ones to be in one group back then, because there wasn't, first was all guys.
Right.
And then we said, hey, but we should bring in some chicks. Oh, yeah, I know these young girls that go Stevenson. And so Trinity Vegas and Jamie, I forget Jamie's last name.
Yeah.
But Jamie and Trinity. So we brought them on, and then we started, you know, doing routines with them. And then now we started, and that's where like the freestyle thing, we started doing these dance battles.
Okay.
And so promoters like Johnny Goo and even Joe Ho, Mystical Sound Productions, Betty Moy back then.
Right.
The late Betty Moy, I heard she passed away recently. But all of these guys, like they were like the Joe Mayo of that age, you know, where they were producing and promoting events. Right. So Johnny Goo, he had the Battle Mania. And
Battle Mania, okay.
And so basically he would give away, you know.
Where was this at?
Different. Back then they would either it was at ballrooms actually. Okay. They would rent out the hotel.
What year was these freestyle battles?
Jeez. 80.
80. Like
80. It started like about like 86, 87 around there.
Because freestyle at one point took over all the poppers and lockers, I feel, and a lot of breakers started getting more into freestyle, I noticed.
Well, it became more apparent that, you know, we were doing it more.
Yeah.
And then we started kind of grouping together, and then we started making routines with it. And then that's where the whole routine thing was like, hey, maybe we should do like, you know, like dance battles. And so like they would have hundreds of dollars. And that's where like Club Rox Rock really like, we cemented ourselves in that part of it, because like every dance battle that they had in the beginning, we won every single one of them.
Oh, taking them out.
Yeah. And
is it due to skill or due to the numbers of you guys had?
So this is where I'm gonna tell you this. It wasn't about skill, it was about entertainment really and performing.
Yeah.
So as we started to do this, like I was like the mastermind and trying to figure out like how to make this thing work. What looked good, what never. And so basically we did mixes because we had Dwayne and he was a DJ.
Oh, there you go.
We would do mixes. So we would have a distinctive big beginning. We have a middle with dancing routines, and then we have one ending, you know, like an explosion.
Right.
You know the kind of, you got to end good. Yeah, you know the kind of, not the kind, okay, thanks everybody, get him off. You know what I mean? Like, so that, and then we were short and sweet. So I came up to this idea where it was 2 minutes and 47 seconds.
Smart.
Yeah, and so that, and not only that, like depending on how much hundreds was the prize, that's how many guys would be in the routine. Okay. I never like leave with anything less than $100.
Right.
So that was my mentality.
So if the prize was $500,
5 guys.
Only 5 guys can dance.
Yeah, 300, 3 guys. One time we did one at the airport.
Right.
They had on 2-day event, $1,000.
Oh.
So we had 10 guys.
No way.
So back then we had breaker Radamano.
Okay.
Radamano, he became part of Club Rox Rock, and he was the breaker that we highlighted, in our routine.
Okay.
And bro, it was nuts.
And did you guys win that $1,000?
Yeah, we won.
So everybody.
Everyone.
What you guys ate after? Had Zippies or what back then?
Back then had Zippies.
Sorry.
Well, no, back then Diners was big.
Oh, Diners. Oh,
Diners was the deal.
Diners is winners.
Yeah, so but they had the hamburger special.
So you mastermind this. Hey, the prize is $500.
Yeah.
We only gonna dance 5 guys.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna win. And we each get $100.
At least
Wow.
$100. You know what I kind of like? So, well, we were young. You know, we were trying to figure out
But
money.
$100 is a lot, bro.
Oh, yeah.
For the
Back
80s?
Then. Back then.
When you
Back
catch your
then.
bus for 10 cents, how many
Yeah.
bus rides is that?
Oh, bro, I tell you. Well, yeah, for real. Well, see, but back then they also had the transfer, right?
Yeah.
And back then the
transfer?
transfer
Oh.
was, you know, like,
It's the greatest.
yeah. It was, so, yeah, you just pay one time.
I mean, trust me,
even that.
between you and me, I bet you we know all the tricks of the trade.
Yes.
Off of last with no money
Yes.
on the bus. Hey, you know, I forgot I lost my transfer. Give another transfer.
Yes.
And the bus driver, they cool to give you another transfer. You could do that all day long.
Well, see, and that's really what really hip hop and all of this that we talk about, that's really what it's all about, bro, is that we were all poor kids, dude. We never have money. Some of us never have friends in our own community.
Yeah.
You know, where we live. You know what I mean? So what did they do? They gravitated to Ala Moana Shopping Center, where all of these other derelicts was hanging out, you know, and that became the hip hop scene, bro.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's where for me it's so weird because it's like it's not like we were like the best kids in, you know, in the world or anything like that. And so for me, it's weird that they celebrate hip hop now because, brah, we were supposed to be, you know, the kids that time forgot.
Yeah.
You know the kind, and
Right.
instead, what we made a movement.
Yeah.
You know the kind, like we actually did something, and we,
Yeah.
you know, like something that perpetuates, and people
Right.
want to hear about it. Like, wow, imagine that. Like, I don't understand that, bro. Like
Right.
that's so, it's amazing. You know what I mean? And hey, while we were there, we learned how to do things like make music,
Right.
and make beats, and
Or
rap
be
and
entrepreneurial
dance and-
like you.
well, so this is where like it's crazy because I'll tell you this, bro, especially freestyle itself. Every single person that I know from hip hop, like freestyle time, we all business owners.
That's awesome.
Every single one of them.
Right.
Peter Langton, he does the muscle, you know, like
Right.
the protein. What do you call that? Ronnie Uron.
Oh, yeah.
He does the roofing. You know, and I kind of like, bro, hip hop taught us not to take
Right.
or wait for anybody else.
Yes.
Make your own opportunity.
Yep.
And that's where it's weird because now when I see these modern day like hip hop guys, bro, now you get all the tools you got on social, you know, like you can make your own track. You don't need to
Yeah.
be signed by one label.
Right.
Why are you complaining about not being on the radio? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I confused because now you can make your own radio station. You know?
Yeah.
You know, like it's like now we have the power. Back then, I remember Lee Coleman. He was the head of I-94 radio when I released my album in 1990. They wouldn't play our stuff,
What?
even though I was melodics. But we had to figure ways around it.
Right, yeah.
And the ways that we figured out is that they had like the Hot 7 at 7, where they play 2 songs and people vote, and whoever got the most votes would stay on to the next night. We got our song on, and we told all our friends and family to call.
Yeah.
So we made it happen. It was one of the longest running ones because
Which song was that?
I think we did Bust That Groove or This Is a Party, I think.
Okay.
I think it was like it wasn't even a good song, really. It
Right.
it was something that, you know, without swearing, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Melodic, and then that's where, you know, we kind of started to learn how to play it. FM 100 straight told me that, we can play this. I said, why? I'm Island Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the same genre.
So
you know?
close-minded.
Well, there is different types. You know, rap and
Right.
singing is two different. I didn't realize that. Later on, I realized I needed to merge the two, so we started doing melodic rap.
Right.
The way I got onto FM 100 on regular rotation,
Okay.
and I did, was I made a Christmas song.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, you know, hey, rules are great. But
Right.
rules, they're not telling you to stay away. They're telling you, look more,
Yeah.
learn more, because within those rules, get areas for play
Right.
that are legal. You know what I mean? So only the great ones know that. You know, everybody else see gates, they walk away.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You got to figure out, like, what is this?
Yeah, I can go around, jump
Yeah.
over, go underneath.
That right there, that's hip hop to
Yeah,
me.
oh, yeah.
That's hip hop. Find the
Or
way.
you get the lock cutter, you cut the gate open.
Well, we always needed to find a way,
Yeah.
right? You know, and that was the thing, is that we were good at solving problems. And that's what I realized later on in life. And really, like, as we're older now and I look back, I also see that, you know, we were fighting for attention. You know, we were acting out as kids.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you know, they act out in different ways. You know, some, you know, may say the gun thing is them acting out, but different vices for different times, you know? And so it's just understanding how do we take care of that? They want to be seen. They want attention.
Right.
They want to be acknowledged, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We just got to give them love.
That's what it is. I mean,
You
to
know?
be an MC or a rapper, that's the ultimate form of being acknowledged.
Yeah.
To grab the mic, master of ceremony, right?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
mic
and then
control.
what did we do? We controlled the crowd.
Control the crowd.
By what? Let me hear you say ho. You know, and boom, now everybody was listening to you.
Yeah.
And that's the powerful part about it, bro. Right. Like people don't realize that, but with MCs, bro, that's how you really feel, you know, your influence and who you are and how now you got the mic. You got their attention. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do with it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you transition? So you guys are winning all these battles, freestyle dancing.
Yeah.
And not you haven't incorporated rapping yet.
Yeah.
When did that transition happen? Because the video I seen on YouTube, which who owns that video? I want to use it for social. I mean, do you know who posted that video?
Which one?
Of the one you guys are in the club with as a female dancer, the two dancers, then you and the other MC.
Oh, okay. I think it's it's ours.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's ours. Yeah.
Well, it's you guys, so
yeah,
that's gonna use them.
Yeah.
But so when did it transition from you become that kind of show where you started MCing and you had a DJ and dancers? So let's take it from when you were winning all these freestyle battles with no MC. Were you rapping?
We were just dancing. Back then, it was just dance battles, and I loved it. So that's where I'm gonna tell you this: like during that dance time, there was limited dance moves when we would get together. You know, for making routine, right?
Yeah.
We used to go to my grandmother's house in Papakolea. All the boys would come over, we drink all night, and we dance. That's what we did. Yeah. And so back then, you know, the running man.
Right.
What was the running man? You running forward.
Yeah.
So we said, hey, you know what? Let's try something different. Let's run to the side. Yeah. Let's run to the back. Let's run to the other side. You know, that's how like these moves, they never exist prior to that. The mainland gave us the run.
Right.
They gave us the running man. We gave them back everything else.
Nice.
You know, okay? And we don't get credit for that. Like Hawaii, like we were, especially with the freestyle, like we were making a lot of the moves, you know, like
wow.
the whole like the Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Wow, it's crazy.
We made that shit. I remember us making that at my grandmother's house, you know, doing that. Today, you know, everybody does it. You know, kind. But like, and maybe I'm not the only guy that thought about it like that, because we did have those dance battles where after a while, like we would like do different types of moves.
Yeah.
You know, like they had the jealousy where you like do this thing where you make on circle. You know,
I didn't even know what that was called.
Everybody had that.
The jealousy.
It is what they call. Yeah. You know, the Cabbage Patch. Right?
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch. Or the best one is this. The first one was the prep.
Okay.
Right? So everybody knew the prep.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was standard, you know? And then what? They started doing other things with the prep. And, you know, basically us being Polynesian, some guys started doing some slap dancing with it. Like, you know, like we took it to other levels, bro.
Right.
And so we never get acknowledged for that. Like, and for me, like I feel bad and sad all at the same time, because look at MC Hammer. He had Yolanda was there.
Right.
She's from Hawaii. And what did she spawn? She trained a bunch of guys, you know, had this guy, Little Chad, that was part of her back in the back in the old days. He danced with Slam. They had a dance group. Who is he? He's the choreographer for Madonna and for freaking Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
He was a little kid running around with us back then. Right. And look at what he became. You know, the kind of like, I see that like, or even like with the whole Michael Jackson thing. Before us, Albert Tangaro, you know, he was doing stuff. Michael Drain, them, you talked about.
Yeah.
You know, like Johnny J. Jam, you know, like the Silver Brothers, they were dancing with Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie.
Wow.
You know, so for me, like I saw that and I always wanted to do that, bro.
Right.
Like I wanted to travel to the mainland, but I'm from Papakolea, bro. I still live in this, you know, still live in the hood, bro. Like, why? Because I was scared for leave the nest, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So that was my thing, bro. It's like, but I freaking mahalo everybody who did. Like, look at like Nita Lazares, you know?
Yeah.
He was part of U-Men.
Yeah.
You know, that was a dance crew,
right.
You know, with Ronnie them from Pro City. And look at what he was able to do. That guy was amazing. He went on and did some good stuff. He was on, remember they had that dance competition before?
Which one?
The one was on television, Star Search or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then they won, right?
Yeah.
He was the dancer and a choreographer. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, and he stole one of my moves too, that guy.
You still.
Yeah.
What move was that? What move was that?
Well, it was, so here's something interesting is that, like I said, back then we were doing all different types of things. One of the things that I like to do is that when they would do the run,
Yeah.
I would do the run and I would grab my ankle one
Okay.
side and I would, like run with holding that leg.
Yeah.
At first it was cool, bro. It was a cool move when you grab your leg like that and do the run. Later on in life, when they would do generic dance moves,
Yeah.
that's the generic move now, right? When you see somebody like grab their leg and they're like, you know, and everybody laugh like it's a joke. Bro, but
Before that used to be the hot move.
at one point it was legit.
You blame Carlton from.
Right. Well, yeah. I blame Nito. No. But I mean, like, it was cool, bro, because like I got to see him take the stuff that we did in Hawaii,
Right.
like all of us collectively, and take it to the next level.
That's
And look at what he did, bro.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I saw when they interviewed him, and I gotta tell you, bro, there's different ways to live life. He did it the right way. And I mean the point where like when he was young, he did all of that stuff and then he kept pursuing. So he kept on, doing Power Rangers and all of that. What did I do? In 1993, I stopped doing hip hop.
Yeah.
No, for real, I walked away. I got married, had on family.
And he
My grandmother told me this. You cannot raise your family on hopes and dreams.
Right.
Go get one job. So I did that. I
Get one
worked
job.
2 jobs and I literally was just raising a family.
Right.
I stopped doing, and why? Because I tried to get signed with MCA Records
Okay.
with Quincy Jones III. That fell through. They ended up going with somebody else. The other one was they had that 2-day talent search in Hawaii, CNC Music Factory.
Okay.
What's his name? Darryl Hill.
Think so. Yeah.
His brother was the Seville and Coles, the producer. So they did a 2-day event at Blue Zebra or something.
wow.
Like that. Yeah, over at Restaurant Row.
Restaurant Row. Yeah.
Fiji was there. Everybody was there performing. What was at stake was a recording contract.
Right.
I won that. I was supposed to be recorded and produced by CNC Music Factory.
Ooh.
What happened?
What happened?
The brother died. Seville and Coles. The brother died from sickle cell anemia.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Rewind. So wait, real quick. So Blue Zebra. What was Blue Zebra? Was a club.
Yeah, there was a club at Restaurant Row.
Do you remember when Blue Zebra opened or what?
I don't
year was
remember.
Blue
It was in the
Zebra?
90s.
So this is before. So you quit '93. So this must have been 1990.
Yeah, this was like in the 90s, 80s.
80s.
Yeah, and I think they did go through a name change, but at one point, but it was at Restaurant Row,
Right.
not where like Studebaker's was,
Okay.
but on the other side, close to where the court was.
Right. So
on
right
that
now,
side.
for context, Restaurant Row, they have what's over there now? There's still a steak place, yeah? Is it Roots? No.
I think the Young Credit Union over there.
Yeah. Credit Union. I think they have a steak place still there, and like, I think they have like some bakeries and
Yeah,
businesses.
now it's not the place that it used to be
Used to have
when we were
clubs.
there. Yeah, at
Had
one
more
point
than one club,
had clubs
had a
and
bar.
bars
Yeah,
and
yeah.
outdoor bar. They used to have concert
Right.
performances.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So
totally.
so how did you hear about this this competition at Blue Zebra?
Basically, I was told about it by Darrow, I believe, that they were, like his brother then was coming and they wanted to see, what kind of talents was in Hawaii.
Right.
And so they had invited like a bunch of people to come out and perform and whatnot. And so other people performed there. And
Do you remember what song you rapped on that one?
Good question.
Was that okay? So did you have dancers at that time, or just you rapping?
I just went me rap.
Okay.
Me and Dwayne, my DJ.
Just DJing.
Yeah, so we just did that, and then what I did is I did like an acapella first, and then I kind of did like a song. You already had like I think you can do one thing. So, but I just remember that we went out there, we did it, and then I was happy, and then I was like, okay, cool, it's done.
Yeah.
I didn't expect anything out of that because I wasn't sure, what would happen or so. I was blown away, but like to hear all of that stuff that went through, but then it's like, brah, like all of that for nothing in the end.
Yeah.
So I've been through a lot, and there was a lot of possibilities of,
Right.
things that could have happened like here and there. And then again, there's other things that did go through, like, you've seen the Kramer's commercial
Right.
that we did for 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
So for a little while, like we were Kramer's models.
That was big too, yeah, in the 80s.
Oh yeah, it was
Kramer's.
but like little things like that. I mean, I guess for me, like I always was looking for like those little monikers,
Right.
How to be the first, how to be acknowledged, or like because with that gives you credibility,
Right.
And I always kind of knew that and kind of figured that out. I always had I had this planning mentality that I could plan my
Ultimate takeover.
yeah.
So wait, the CNC Music Factory. So you won. Did they contact you after that to kind of set up a recording time, or you just found information that he died?
Yeah, just found out that he died thereafter, and I was like, "What? Oh
Like,
man, like no
almost
way!"
there.
Like,
And then what about so the second time you almost got signed? Can you walk us through that experience?
that was with the MC.
MCA, yeah. So how did that come about? What was
Okay,
the
so
beginnings of
so
that?
that one was cool. That was actually the first one, to be
Oh, the
honest
first
with
one,
you.
okay.
Yeah, and that one was all Glenn Medeiros.
Wow.
So
This is what year is this roughly? So Glenn Medeiros was on already. He was already
Yeah.
She Ain't Worth It, Bobby Brown.
No,
not yet.
No.
Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You?
Yes, he
Okay.
was Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You. This is back in the early '80s.
Okay. So he was signed. He was on the label, right?
Yeah, well,
He won brown bags.
Yeah, he
got signed.
Yeah, and then after when he came back, he was trying to do stuff.
Okay.
And so that's where like the guy who produced me, which is Lester Gantan.
Okay.
He owns Flying Hawaiian
Right.
Music. He was the keyboard player for Glenn Medeiros.
Oh, okay.
So we met Glenn through him.
Right.
And that's where like, Glenn had the connections with MCA. So he would tell, hey man, can you like share this or shop this, to these guys and see if anybody would, bite. And so they wanted to shop us to the mainland. And I like that, like getting signed to a major record label.
Right,
the
right.
thing that I didn't like is that over there, like we're one of 50,000 people that can do the same thing.
True.
What makes me different? What makes me different? Like, and that's where like I understood that I needed, we need identity. One, two is that it would be so much better if we built it here. And I had one fan base and one crowd that people was cheering my name, and then they follow as you build yourself.
Right.
And so I just, like we're still learning. We're still trying to figure it out. And, nothing was in stone. And, but this is where it's crazy because I'm happy of everything that happened, like the good and the bad. The thing that I realized is that I'm just one part of the machine, the cog, because all the shit that I went through, now later on, I see Tease Them come out, Big Tease Them. And it's like, bro, look at how far they went.
Right.
They went further than me.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not mad at that because I realized that that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Each generation got to supersede the next,
Yeah.
And so I love that. That's evolution, bro,
It is.
of hip hop. And just, I was so happy. Like, I've never told him this, but that song, man, 808 Hoes, like,
Yeah.
I loved it. It was so awesome. I love singing it, But then again, being a father of 3 daughters, I'm happy I didn't do that song because it's like, and like that would be hard to be preaching to my kids. Like, yeah, I know I said, but but I was happy to see that Hawaii was evolving.
Right.
But that's where it's like, where are we now? The kind of like I mean, I expected us to have like a Hawaii record label
Industry almost.
Yeah, or
That's
at least a
not
label
island-
that's pushing out these latest guys.
Right.
I
That's not just island music.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
No,
yeah.
Hawaiian or rap itself.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, look, we had guys like Radical Rob.
Right.
Bro, Radical Rob, he was in the trenches with us.
Yeah,
bro. He
yeah,
was
yeah.
back in the days of dancing. We were always close. He was the DJ guy. We some of our guys reached pretty far, bro.
Yeah.
So now we need more of those guys. Like we're now we should own stuff now.
Right.
What's the excuse? This generation, come on, bro, get on it, bro. Bro, if I came out now, we wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like just saying the mentality. Like now we're not building like we used to. You know, now I kind of feel like I hear more complaining. I said, oh, yeah, society is like this and people are like this.
Right.
They're not letting us on the station. Why are we still saying that?
Yeah.
Now we can own one station. You know, they're kind of like, now we're business owners now. Like, if you really want to do it, like, go do it, bro. You know, like, that part I don't understand.
Right. Plus, with the resources that they have
Yeah.
at their fingertips, literally.
Yeah.
Phone, laptops.
Yeah.
Social
Everything's
media.
on your cell phone now. Yeah, you can literally.
But maybe you think maybe it's coming too easy. That's why
Yes.
you don't got to work at all.
Yes.
I mean, they do. I hand it to this generation. They do put in work, but not the work that we.
I don't know
put in.
about that. No. Well, you know,
Good
hey,
for you if you're natural.
Well, you know, hey, in later 2000s, I started printing T-shirts. I
Right.
started doing a Black Hawaiian. Initially, like I bought on press and was actually pressing each damn shirt.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was like, oh, but it's getting hot. Then I realized that, hey, you gotta send it out to somebody else. And then really, if you're doing hundreds or thousands, now you can get them cheaper. You know, you know. Then so you learn how to build the business. But it's like that mentality. Like that's what we need with hip hop. Like, you know, like we should be way more further ahead than we are now. We're still waiting to be recognized.
Right.
Why are we waiting? Who we waiting for?
Who we
you know,
waiting
kind
for?
of like go
Yeah.
look in the mirror, bro. You got it. You got permission. Go do it. You know.
Real quick, I want to make sure that we get to the point where what happened at the crossroads with MCA. So Glenn Medeiros put you on, and then
No. So what happened is that it was between me and this other artist. I don't know the name of the guy, but he did rap and stepping. And
so you actually got a meeting with or got talked to about possibly signing?
on the phone, yeah.
Yeah, on the phone.
I got talked to on the phone. They said that I had a couple of guys that, you know, would be interested. Quincy Jones III was a name that they brought out. And basically they were like saying, oh, yeah, it's between you and this other guy. You know, we'll see what happens. Right. The other guy did stepping. It was part of his rap. And then they said, oh, they're going to go with that guy. And then he actually opened up for the American Music Awards that year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's how much they believed in him.
They put it on for him.
Yeah, so like, yeah, and he like
tanked.
I don't even know the guy's name.
I mean, earlier
I
we tried to look it up. I couldn't
Yeah,
find
I
it.
can't find it anywhere online. Yeah.
So you're there. You're right there.
Well, but that's where it's like you know, it's maybe it wasn't meant to be for a reason. And that's where I am happy to kind of be here, like sharing this kind of story, because I think people need to know, you know, like what we've done, where we've been. Really, the two things going to happen in life. When you're coming in young, you know, you see, you learn from your community. People around you teach you who you are and how you are. When you get older, you learn that you got to give back for the next gen. You know, so it's just a process to life, and I'm happy that, you know, I was able to be a part of it. I put a little stamp here and there. Yeah.
Well, I think stories like yours and Tease's, as well as the others that I've interviewed, that helps bring perspective for this future artist or the ones that are wondering, what can I do out of Hawaii? Knowing that you almost signed twice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing that Dance Moves was taken from Hawaii and now it's spread worldwide.
Yeah.
Knowing that Tease Them, they got signed, they literally was on tour in like a week or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Opening for acts. Because you guys opened for a bunch of acts,
Oh,
right?
so
Lady Shader Brown, Candyman.
So that was our thing back in the day. In order to get out, you needed to, you know, get your music out. You needed to perform somewhere. So we did two things. One is we went to the radio stations and we said, yeah, we perform for free, whoever you get coming in. So we did Candyman, we opened up for, and then Geraldo.
Oh, nice.
Rico Suave. And even him, he was pretty impressed. When we opened up with him and we did our sound check, he kind of came over and said, oh, man, where you guys from? So, oh, we're from Hawaii. I was like, yeah, I remember you on Colors, man.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, yeah. You know, like,
Wait, did you guys perform when you opened for him? Was that with dancers and everything?
Yeah, we had dancers.
Oh, wow. He had dancers too, right?
Yeah.
Because he was a dancer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's where, like, when he saw, you know, what we were doing, he was like, hey, oh, wow, man. Hey, where you guys from, man? Because, you know, we were doing what they were doing kind of. So he was like, wow, I never know that Hawaii was like that. Even with the kind the whole Brown Bags to Stardom.
Yeah.
We met Dr. Dre and Eazy-E backstage. They shook our hands, signed Dwayne's, you know, DJ thing, and then they left. Next thing you know, we perform. We never have our own music. what we did is we went performed to an instrumental
Right.
from Two Live Crew. The one of the guys, Luke, his son,
Okay.
had one song, and so we
Ooh.
did his. So we were not supposed to do that,
Right.
We're supposed to produce our own stuff.
Yeah.
On there in the beginning, it has transforming.
Right.
You know the kind of like,
Yeah.
and so that's the start, and it's like this whole like so we rap to that, bruh. After we were done coming off the stage like that, we were coming off all excited. I freaking turn around, bro. Dr. Dre grabbed me. He's like, "Where you guys from?" Because he never expect to see that.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of like, and it wasn't all us.
Yeah.
But they never know that.
Right.
You know, according to them, they knew that this was one kids, like a talent
Yeah.
thing. Nobody's supposed to be transforming.
Right.
That never really happened yet. You know,
Yeah.
but bro, like Hawaii, like we've always been at
right.
the cusp,
At
bro.
the cusp, yeah.
We influence a lot of what happens up there. We've had so many guys, like I said, the Silvas, Johnny J. Jam. I mean, she's Albert Tangaro, John Lewis, himself. Like that guy, he was a dancer back in the day. He's the guy that was the jiu-jitsu coach for the Fertitta brothers and Dana White.
Wow.
He's the reason why and helped to create the whole Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Oh, this is good.
Well, no, well, hey, he was there with that. Okay, he had his own promotion that he was doing. He was an MMA fighter. I went to watch him fight at the Blaisdell. I've seen that he was a main event, and me and a bunch of the naughty boys were hanging out back in the 90s. And we said, oh, well, let's go check this fight out. So we went to the Blaisdell, and he won. He beat the guy, and I was like, holy, like he did jiu-jitsu, Brazilian-style jiu-jitsu. I saw that on Friday. Monday, I was in class, House and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, crazy.
And, I followed him from dancing. From dancing, I followed him to jiu-jitsu. Look, now jiu-jitsu and MMA is huge, in not only Hawaii, but in the world.
Right.
And Hawaii is like the capital for fighting. Everybody knows that everybody can scrap in Hawaii, So, I mean, define hip-hop, bro. Because hip-hop is much more than music. The influence is way past that, way past. Like, I mean, Jesus, nobody would even think, like, how would somebody from Hawaii and dance be involved in the UFC, But John Lewis, bruh, he's our Hawaii connection. I believe he graduated from Kamehameha.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're a little older than me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I heard. I mean, but apparently all of these dancers went to Kamehameha nowadays. I think about it. Jesus Christ, these.
You know why everybody think we dance hula? That's why.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
But as we wrap this up, any other stories, any things that happened back in the day that you can like kind of recall?
Bruh, like really, the biggest thing is this, bruh. They're like we talking right now, a lot of influencers, there's more than John Lewis. When I was running around during that time and we were rapping and dancing, we were poor, right?
Right.
So what else did we do? We did, illegal things. We stole. We went, we shoplift back then, Back then it was called racking or flanging.
Yeah.
And everybody had on partner. And not only that, we also did graffiti back then. Bruh, I'm going to tell you right now, one of the graffiti writers back then, everybody knows him now, but nobody knows that he was involved back then, which is Dwayne Johnson.
Oh,
Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock.
He was one tagger back in the day. McKinley Boy. Yeah, he hung out with us at Hawaiian Brian's, He was in the dance scene. He was in the hip-hop scene. Wow. He was in the trenches. He did what we did back then.
Yeah.
So it's like, who thought that he would become what he is today?
What was his writer? What is his name?
Okay, so this is trivia right here.
Oh,
No. So Dwayne Johnson's tag name was Sky.
Sky. S-K-Y?
S-K-Y. From what I hear.
And what, you seen him get up that name and everything?
Well, the whole thing is this, bro. Look at where he went.
Yeah.
Sky was the limit, bro.
Yeah.
And for me, I love that story because the whole time he was doing bad, what was he thinking?
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. And bro, look at where he's at now. Like,
Was he down with any crew? I'm curious.
I'm sure he was. Like,
McKinley had a lot of graffiti crews.
McKinley. They had a lot of different crews out there, and everybody had their own set.
Right.
For me, like Roosevelt, we had this guy Travis Caminos. He did Arab, back in the day.
That's dope.
Yeah, like and he had a big following, bro, and Arab 14, and he was killing it, bro. So back then we had Skez, and all of these guys. There was this guy, this guy that I went to school with, Roosevelt. He used to be a part of the Hokulea and doing all of that stuff. And he was epic back in the day, And so, I mean, brah, I seen some pretty amazing people come out of this hip hop scene of derelict kids that wasn't doing any good.
Right.
And back then, like, we wasn't doing hard drugs, bro.
Yeah.
We was only drinking, and smoking weed was the baddest thing that could happen to you back then. So I like it. We were innocent back then, bro. Wasn't any fighting. There was no violence. When we had on battle, we would walk to another neighborhood, but we went to Palolo to battle. We went to Mayor Wright's to battle. We walk in like we gangsters, and we walk out, and everything was all dance, bro.
Right.
It wasn't violence, bro. Dancing was that big at one time. It was literally, what do you call that? That musical play.
What is that?
It was like that everywhere. It's like, bro, for real. Like when we went to the malls, bro, we would see rival crews, and we would be mad at them.
Yeah.
But not once did we ever thought
Violence.
about licking them. It was
battle.
Like, but frick them, but we go battle them because you like challenge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we would have the same excitement and anger, but violence was never a part of it, bro. And I'm proud of that we lived through that. We were a part of that. And where that went, I don't know what happened, bro. But like, hey, it was a beautiful time to live, bro. It really was. And I'm freaking so happy, thankful, and fortunate that I got to be a part of that.
Definitely. Any parting words?
Yeah. Okay. Parting words is this, man. For future Lionel out there. Yeah. Because this is where it all happened, to be honest with you. Like, to that 14-year-old kid out there. Yeah. Like, hey, bro, life's going to be hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to go through ups and downs, but just stay vigilant to what you want. Stay vigilant to what's in your mind. Even when situations dictate otherwise, there's on short game and on long game to life. Master the long game, because that is life. That's what we're going to live, is the life. The short games, we can get the short gains here and there, but the short gains run out in time. Really, it's all about the long game. So, like, pick what you love, what the aspects of what you like. Like, for me, I love rap, I love hip-hop, but what did I really love? I love expressing. I love being who I was 100%. And that's what I take from that, brah, is I'm still hip-hop. I'm still living me. What is me? Being me 100% all the time.
And that's hip-hop.
That's hip-hop. So that's what I want to leave with, is that it's not songs, it's not words, it's not colors, it's not even a outfit. It's you. It's how you think. And really, the way that you show it is the way you live. Your words can say whatever, but really, when people see what you're putting down, that's life. That's your life. Yeah. And that's what I learned from hip hop, bro. So,
hey,
as a Hawaiian, so ALANUI MELE.
ALANUI MELE. Hey, mahalos, Lionel. Appreciate all your stories, everything you've done for the hip hop community. You walk so we all could run.
Well, hey, at this point, we should be flying.
We should be flying
just
The
saying.
Rock, sky.
Just saying, sky. Sky's the limit,
Sky's
bro.
the limit.
Sky's the limit, yes.
Hey, we gotta try to get The Rock on it. That'd be mean.
But, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that he not. And maybe we should try to reach out and
say, hey, bro,
and tell him, because hey, he's done amazing things, and he get one story too. Like, imagine, back then he had to live under his father's shadow. So I'm sure he gets stories as well. Yeah. So, yes.
Right on. Thanks, Lionel. This is ALANUI MELE with Count the Catalyst on PBS Hawaii.